Welcome, good evening. I'm Marcy Morris, your host for Medford Art Center United Through Arts. And tonight we have a special guest, my dear friend, Renee Chambers-Liciaga. And she's incredible, choreographer, performer, and an amazing performing arts educator from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Welcome, Renee.
Hi, Marcy. Hello, everybody at United Arts. I'm like so excited that you asked me to do this. This is amazing. Yeah, we got to Zoom because, we can't actually be live and in person. But thank you so much for having me. And all the arts that are happening right in our own backyard.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's how we met when I moved to Mount Laurel around 2003. We had our, children around the same time. We met at Parkway Elementary School, also at Fellowship Baptist Church at the time, and Jacob's Chapel, where you and I spent time, and you spent time sharing with me about your family and the Still family, right? So share with us a little bit about Dr. James Still and your relationship, your ancestry.
Wow, yeah, it's really neat actually, to be back home after all these many years of, doing, performances and living in different countries, Germany, Switzerland, Japan. But I am a Jersey girl through and through, and my family's been here for 5 generations. My 4th great grandfather was William Still, who helped Harriet Tubman on the Underground Railroad. And right here in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, Jacob's Chapel AME Church is part of that Underground Railroad and helping the slaves to escape to freedom. He finally met up with Philadelphia, and his brother is Dr. James Still, who is the first Black doctor of the Pines. That's my uncle, and he was out in Medford, and it was just amazing. My family legacy on my mother's side of the Stills, and how they really just came together as a community back then. They escaped from slavery back down in Maryland. But that most of them ended up, and both of the 2 brothers ended up in Philadelphia and then moved over and settled in Mount Laurel. So, you have the Mount Laurel, the Quaker home as well, too. The Quakers helped with that, the Lenape Indians. So, it was just amazing, this community, and the total woods, backwoods, and for a Black man back then to own property and a home. I think if you go past, I can't remember if it's 541, if you go past Lenape High School and Roselli's is on the left, there's a marker that's still there where Dr. James Still's house stood. And we are in the process of raising monies for that to go back up because it's an historical landmark. And Jacob's Chapel is a historical landmark as well, too. So it's really, it's a blessing, but sometimes it's so overwhelming to realize that that's my mother's side of the family, that the lineage, and how hard they fought for education and to be free and to have their own businesses way back then. So yeah. So that's part of my family legacy, the Still family legacy.
Sharing, wow, what the heart of human beauty is variety and diversity.
Yes, yeah, and at the end of the day, you peel all that away, and we're just humans. We're people. People are like, "What are you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm a human being who happens to be a woman, who happens to be African American, who happens to be a mom, who happens to be a singer and a dancer. But I'm a human. Like, what I mean? I'm a human being. First, and foremost. And yes, we have differences, but that's what makes it so exciting. Or else the world would be boring if we were all the same."
Absolutely.